Hey guys, and welcome to the live. I wanted to jump in today because I've been getting a lot of questions as to what is the best way to get started and whether or not you still have time if you don't have an Etsy store to get traction for Q4. So today I'm going to discuss how you can go from not having a store or not having any consistent sales to making your first $10,000 for Q4, which is currently happening, but you still have time because Black Friday is a month away. And also, it's worth noting that people are starting to actively look for gifts, but you still have time to rank your listings. So, I'm going to share with you some ideas as to how you can have an edge over your competition. And who am I exactly? Well, my name is Luna. I'm a top 1% Etsy seller and e-commerce expert and international speaker. I scaled my first Etsy shop to six figure in 6 months after going through the school of hard knocks. I've made all the mistakes in the books, guys. And I've been featured as well in the Etsy Seller podcast from Everbee. I've been featured as well on Shine On, Affiliate Summit. I've spoken at Affiliate Summit. I've been featured on Gelato, Outprint. The list goes on, right? And so my goal is to help everyday people sell digital and print on demand products on Etsy. And I share my knowledge on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, simply because I don't want you guys to go through what I went through because there's a lot of misinformation out there. So we know that folks are actively starting to look for Etsy gifts as early as mid-October, which we are in mid-October now. And then obviously there's going to be an influx of traffic, folks looking for gifts, which will is already starting, but it's going to continue all through November, December, and then obviously fizzle down, right? So you might be wondering, what's the best way for me to get started? But before we do that, I want to share with you kind of what's possible, right? Based on top sellers from 2023. So Christmas ornament are always a great top seller. This one generated $142,000. Obviously, this is not all profit, guys, but just know as a rule of thumb, with print on demand, your profit margins are anywhere between 40% and then 20% if you're doing a product that is more competitive, right? But the beauty of Etsy is that you don't have to spend a dime in advertising. And you also don't need to have any inventory, right? Because you're doing print on demand. So these are really good numbers if we think about it, right? The fact that they're not spending any money in advertising, they're paying for Etsy fees. Etsy fees are about 9% total. But guys, like that's nothing considering the fact that you don't need to have to pay for a software like Shopify. Like there's just a lot of fees that you don't need to have when you're doing Etsy, which is why it's so beginner friendly. So this particular candle generated $318,000. And this plaque, which is a star map, generated about almost $500,000. Then we have other products like this plaque, which is a Spotify plaque. Well, it's kind of like replicating the Spotify look. It made about $1 million. These Libby cups slash glass mugs have been also really popular. It generated about 650, sorry, 625,000. My brain's not quite there today. And then we also have this apparel sweatshirt, which generated $344,000. And this is personalized with the sleeve, which includes the name of all your family members. So I also wanted to share with you guys for folks who are doing digital products, kind of like digital products that have done really well. The HDHD planner is something that has been a bestseller for a while for multiple stores. It's generated $195,000 all-in-one digital planner, which includes multiple years, has generated about $1 million. And then we have these like personalized cartoon mock-ups of folks' pets. So they send a photo of their pets and then you cartoonize it and it's a digital download, or you can also sell it as a poster or Canva. And that's generated about $121,000. So the opportunities are there. People actively go on Etsy to shop for gifts. They're looking for items that they would not find on Amazon or anywhere else. And a lot of time as well, you have to keep into consideration that they're also looking for personalized gifts, right? But what happens for new sellers often is that they end up being completely lost in the sea of options, right? And when you're lost in the sea of option, unfortunately, you have no traffic. So what happens is when somebody sees an opportunity, they don't really know how to differentiate themselves from their competitor. And unless you're a seasoned seller, it's going to be really hard for you to understand what can be done to rank first on the page, right? Because you don't necessarily have the insights as to what is required to rank first. And the same happens. So essentially what happens is that most beginners will see a product that is doing well, and so they'll emulate it and replicate it, and so they don't understand how they can essentially rank their listing that way. And it becomes extremely competitive and also extremely challenging as a beginner, right? So as a beginner, really, when you are just getting started, you need to understand that you always need to have an edge over your competition, right? And as you get more seasoned, you'll start to understand that more and more. But when you're beginning, you kind of want a low hanging fruit, right? You want to understand what's like the easiest way to get your foot in the door in the Etsy marketplace and start getting sales. And part of your edge can be actually selling unique products. And by the way, that's either for digital products or print on demand, right? So understanding demand and what people are actively buying is something that you will always need to know, whether you're doing drop shipping or I mean anything that you're selling really. Like you always need to understand where there's demand and what people need help with, like what solution can you provide them, right? Whether it's a physical gift or digital download. And your edge is in selling unique products. So today, what I want to do for you guys is share with you a list of different unique products that a lot of folks are completely dismissing, where there's plenty of opportunities. I'm going to share with you guys like the actual opportunities, and I'm going to tell you as well like which suppliers are selling those items. But first, a word of advice, right? Especially with Christmas and the holidays coming. So I really want you, especially if you're just starting out, to avoid putting all your energy on all holiday specific items. Because what happens is that, as if you think about it, right? Let's say that you rank a listing for the holiday, you're only going to get sales for a couple weeks. And really, the goal, especially when you're starting out, is to really focus on items that have an opportunity to get you gifts all year round, right? So design that are too holiday specific is really going to restrict your sales potential. And especially when you are just starting out, you really want to put your emphasis in what really matters, which is like evergreen. And evergreen has plenty of opportunities for you to get sales during Christmas. So, for instance, this Roman numeral sweatshirt has been trending for quite a while. It's extremely popular. This is an item that will be a bestseller. I mean, already is a bestseller for Christmas, and it's a bestseller all year round. So, you focusing your time and effort in something that's evergreen, that's going to give you sales um, during Christmas, so you can like essentially rank your listing and throughout the year is where your energy is going to be spent well, right? Versus if you rank an item that is Christmas specific, you get a few sales. Unfortunately, those sales are going to die off, right? So this matters, especially if you're a newbie, right? Like this is my personal opinion. You can do otherwise, but personally, from my experience, stuff that is evergreen is always going to perform better for you in the long run, right? So let's go through this print on demand opportunity list, which will be great for the holidays and beyond the holidays, right? So these are a list of products that people don't necessarily think of. So the first one are mouse pad and desk mats. So obviously, with folks working more from home now, people are looking to kind of personalize their home office and have a cool mouse pad and desk mat. And as well, like there's just not as much competition, right? So this conference called Bingo Mousepad, obviously it's fun. It's specific to somebody who spends a lot of time on Zoom. It's something that is going to get emotions out of them. This is a really fun mousepad, and no wonder, it's in high demand. Then we have kind of like this Art Nouveau desk mat that is also doing extremely well. This is more of like an extended keyboard mat, so hence, a desk mat, right? Really. So these products can be great for the holidays, and I'm gonna share my screen so we can like do some additional research. And by the way, because I know you guys are gonna ask, Printify is a supplier. They have multiple options for desk mat and mouse pads. So that's something worth noting. So, needless to say, let me go ahead and share my screen and let's do a quick search for mouse pads so you can see the opportunities. Like, literally, there's sellers who uploaded these items just a few months ago and they already are getting traction. So, if we go on Etsy, by the way, I highly recommend that you have the Everbee extension. It's going to be a lifesaver if you don't already. And I have a special discount if you guys need it in my bio. So we're going to do product analysis. We're going to look at the monthly revenue. And then also what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to filter because I want to look at items that were just uploaded 4 months ago, because that's going to give me some insights as to whether or not there are opportunities. And so this product right here, which is a desk mat, was uploaded about, it says here, 3 months ago, and it's already generating 1,500 in sales. So they have different sizes that we can choose from, and we have different colors. Notice how this is personalized, but guys, in all honesty, this particular listing could be easily dethroned. While I do like the fact that it's providing customers with like different color option, there's an opportunity here to blend other design, like trending designs, right? This mouse pad right here, which is going after like the raccoon trend, also has generated. So this was uploaded about 4 months ago, and it's generating about $500 a month, which is great. It's a great start. So the reason I like Mousepad is again because there's not a lot of competition here. It's really beginner friendly. This bestseller right here could easily be dethroned. There's just like I'll show you guys like the birth flower month is something you could try directly with these Mousepad, right? Uh, because this is a design element that's just like really popular, where essentially you include the the flowers that represent everyone in your family or the flower that represents your birth month. So just like you can see here, every flower represents a month. And so you could do essentially something similar with a desk mat or a mouse pad where you include it's personalized, you include the name of the person and the birth flower chart. And by the way, so the way you do that is you ask them to add the personalization, right? So you include the birth flower chart, which you can find, guys, like on Creative Fabrica, you'll find the birth flower charts. Um, so we can open up Creative Fabrica. I can show you right now. And then essentially what you do is you give your customer, like ask him to pick, right? And then you go from there. So let me show you Creative Fabrica. Creative Fabrica is a great tool that I recommend that you invest in because they have a lot of design elements that are going to help you. And you have full licensing. So if we do birth flower month, you'll see that right here, you're going to have access to all the different SVGs. So you can download those and add them in your print on demand store. And you can leverage those because they have commercial use. So needless to say, guys, like the sky's the limit. All right. So mouse pads are the first one. Let's go through the next product. To drum rolls. Okay, one sec. Where is my screen? Here we go. Back in business. So the next product that I recommend you look into are actually recipe books and planner. So let me explain. So Printify actually has blank notebook, but I'm sure you didn't know this. Printed Mint, which is a print-on-demand supplier based in the US, actually has planners and recipe books which have pages inside. So these recipe books are getting quite a bit of traction. So are these planners. Obviously, folks are going to be buying planners for 2025. So needless to say, like printed mint like is going to give you that edge of enabling you to have recipe books where in the past like you only had access to blank notebooks. Now you guys have access to books where there's like these hard books that actually have pages inside. And these recipe books and planners are all the rage. And again, like this is going to give you an edge over your competition. So let me show you. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Printed Mint. They actually, I also recommend you go through their full catalog. They have a variety of products. So here we are. Let me share their website so you can see Printed Mint. So if we go under products, so they have like bestsellers here, like they have desk and office, like they have embroidery apparel. So they have quite a bit. And I've had really good experience working with them. So if we go under stationery, this is where you're gonna find the hardcover. So this one is a recipe book. And as you see here, like you have yeah, I mean, this is great. Like the pages are filled out. So that's gonna give you an edge over your competition. And the same thing goes for these planners. The pages are filled out for you. Weekly planner. Um, so lots of opportunities there, guys. And so if we go on Etsy again, I'm gonna go on Etsy. We're gonna do recipe book. Just so you can see. We're gonna do product analysis. We're gonna look at their monthly revenue because every time we look at monthly revenue, it gives us insight as to whether or not the item is like getting sales. We're gonna do listing age 4. And so this item right here, which was uploaded 4 months ago, is generating about 1,600. So there are opportunities here. It's just a matter like, and the thing I like about, so obviously this is not print on demand, but the thing I like about this particular listing as well is that they uploaded different designs that customers can choose from. So this is something that you might want to consider as well, where you have where the customer can pick from different designs and you ask them to include that, right? Or also add a level of personalization. You could also do like a birth flower month with the recipes here. So lots of opportunities. This is something that, again, people are not necessarily thinking of, and that's going to give you an edge. And if you were to do a planner, like an actual physical planner, what I recommend you do here, so there are a few planners that are really popular right now, but what I recommend you do is that you do like a personalized planner because that's going to give you an edge over your competition, right? So there's a lot of opportunities here because most folks, what they've done is like simple journals, and you could also blend. So let's look at what's like actually selling here. Monthly revenue. We're also going to look at the listing age again. Let's do 3 months, see what comes up. Um, and so, okay, Magical Gold Foil Planner that was uploaded a month ago. So this is not print on demand, but this design is performing well. So if this design is performing well, there's an opportunity. And actually, this is a blank journal. So maybe there's an opportunity to take this design element and put that in a planner. So this is how, guys, you get inspiration by looking at what is in demand, looking at design elements, and then figuring out, you know, where the opportunities are. This one uh, is another one. So obviously, this is actually, oops, I think this is a digital download. Yes, no, this is an actual product. So yeah, guys, like, so essentially what I want you to do is look at, like, take a screenshot of all the different products that I'm sharing with you, do your research, leverage Everbee, and then essentially look for where there's opportunities based on your skill set as well. But that's going to give you an edge, right? Because not a lot of people know about Printed Mint and the fact that they offer these planners that are filled in inside. Another thing you could do is like this difference maker descriptions or slash dictionary. journal has been really popular for over a year. And what you could do is include something that is doing well in a journal, a design that is doing well, and include it in a planner. So that's going to make all the difference for you guys. Okay, so moving on to the next product, puzzles. So puzzles are completely underrated in my opinion. This particular family puzzle, which so customers upload the photo of their family, it's generating on average actually $6,000 plus in sales. And then this item that was literally uploaded 2 months ago is already generating $500 in sales. So puzzles are something that you might want to look into as well, especially for Christmas. Those would do really well. I think for a puzzle here, what you could also try, even though I have said that you want to stay away from Christmas theme, is actually create a Christmas theme puzzle with showing the family with, wearing their pajama. You know how in the US, folks like to take photos of their family wearing a Christmas pajama. And usually they send that to their families. So maybe there's an opportunity there to show a family wearing Christmas pajamas and sell that for Christmas. Printify is going to be your supplier for these puzzles. So I recommend you start with this generic puzzle versus a jigsaw. The jigsaw is a little bit more expensive, but essentially what you'll do here is that you'll include the photo of a family. So you want to represent essentially who you're going after, the kind of family you want to go after, just like this puzzle here. So you'll include a photo of the family. And so customers will understand that all they have to do is essentially recreate that image, right? So they will upload the image. You will ask them via Etsy Messenger to send you the image, making sure that it's high quality enough, and then you'll go ahead and print it. Or you can create your own design, like this example here. Looking at designs that are in demand, that would make sense for it to be a puzzle, and then you can recreate that. So for instance, like black cats are really in right now. There's been like cats have been going viral, partially as well because of the election. So there's an opportunity here to create designs for with puzzles with cats, right? All right, so next are these hydro jug slash travel mugs. Those have been selling like hotcake. This listing right here, uploaded this listing, well, 3 months ago. Now, what they've done that's really smart, in my opinion, is that they are including multiple products. So this is not print on demand, obviously, because they have access to it, but you would have access to the exact same product. I'm going to show you where you can find it. It's not Printify, you'd be surprised, even though Printify does have some of these travel mugs. But these travel mugs have been really popular for over a year now. And notice how this particular seller is including all the different options and different colors available for their customers, which is giving them an edge, right? So this is actually available through a print-on-demand supplier. They're based in the US. They're called Collab Custom, and they have these hydro jug travel dupes tumbler where you include your design right here. So this is all the rage. If you didn't know about them, like I highly recommend you look into them. Like this is going to give you an edge because this is a product that not a lot of sellers know and have access to. And these are selling really well. So let's do a quick search right now and look on Etsy, directly on Etsy. Travel mugs. Let me share my screen. Travel mugs so we can kind of inform and understand what we could potentially sell. So these travel mugs right here, let's see, we'll do product research, monthly revenue. We're going to use our filter to see items that were just uploaded 4 months ago. Then we're going to click here again. And here we're going to have a list. So this is the one I think we just saw. The personalized, oh, this is another vendor, but yeah, it's the same idea. Um, so this is selling pretty decent. It's already generated about 3,000. So it's generating 3,900 per month. Then we have this one as well. And these are like, I mean, honestly, guys, like the designs here, you guys can do a much better job. So there's a lot of opportunities, and these are pulling in quite a bit of sales. You also have these like other personalized 40 ounce. So by the way, like notice how they hide a lot of their pricing. Um, yeah, like it's often it's in no engraving versus engraving. But anyways, something worth noting when you're going to do this, by the way, guys, is that you want to make sure that you show all the colors that are available for your customers. You also want to make sure you show them the graphics that they would want to use. So this is really smartly done because, I mean, in my opinion, there's a little bit too many graphics. You don't want to give that many options to your customer because then it becomes a bit overwhelming. But they've done a really good job showing their customers like, okay, these are all the different ways that you can personalize your mug. And if we analyze this listing too, something worth noting is looking after, what kind of keywords they're looking for. That's bringing them traffic. So personalized tumblers, personalized cup, tumbler with straw, um, flower tumbler. Yeah, so they're going after keywords that have lots of search volume. Um, Birthday party, that's interesting. Not a lot of search volume, high competition, flora travel mug. So the opportunities are there, guys, especially with these travel mugs, the hydro jugs. And as you've seen right here, there's a lot of sellers who uploaded these listing. I mean, this listing was uploaded literally, but I don't think that's an actual travel mug. Let's see. Listings that were uploaded 3 months ago, and they're getting quite a bit of traction. Oh, this is not a travel mug. Um, so yeah, so that's another product that is gonna help you get a decent amount of sales for Christmas, and I really recommend that you like look into it. Okay, so moving on to the next product. To drum roll. Okay, so now we're gonna discuss digital products. I've given you guys like a bunch of ideas. And by the way, another thing that I often get asked is like, can I have a store that has both digital product and print on demand? And when you are starting out, the answer is yes. You can have a general store. Remember, with Etsy, you can always go back and optimize your store based on what you're getting more sales. And as well, at the end of the day, on Etsy, your listing is your website. So it's important to note that your energy needs to be spent in understanding where the opportunities are, especially when you are getting started, having that edge. So it could be an edge with a different product. It could be testing digital products and print on demand in the same store to see what's going to stick for you, right? Obviously, consistency is key. You have to be consistent. But, if you want to give a try with digital products because you haven't had much luck with print on demand, like something's not clicking, I recommend you do that. So here are opportunities for 2024 and 2025. So faceless reels have been all the rage as on Instagram and social media, there's just been a really big push for folks to create faceless accounts to help them drive traffic. This item right here generated about $5,000. And that's the other thing with digital products is that so okay, the pros is that obviously you don't have base costs because obviously it's 100% profit for you. The negative is that because you're competing with other sellers, you're limited as to how much you can price for the item, and you do need to do a price analysis and price strategy in place, right? So, in my personal opinion, when you're doing digital products, it's a great way to capture emails and get people inside your funnel. It's not necessarily like a long-term strategy, but it could be a great way to get those emails through the door and build a brand. So, faceless reels are doing reel and portfolio templates. So let me go back to my screen so we can go ahead and look at that. So first we're going to look at faceless reel and see what we find. Let me close all these windows. My gosh, I have so many windows open. Faceless reel. Yeah, so there's a lot of different options here. And what's actually really smart is that there's a few sellers who essentially are creating niched faceless reels, so motivational reels, med spa. This one created a bundle. And notice, I mean, this is what I mean. Like the prices are pretty competitive here. Um, and the ones that are more specialized are able to charge a little bit more. So the beauty with faceless reels, though, if we do a product analysis, is that a lot of these items that are generating decent amount of sales were literally uploaded just a few months ago. So there's a lot of opportunities here. Obviously, you're going to have to find your edge by understanding where, like, for instance, like fall aesthetic, you're going to have to like double down on like niching down essentially to find those opportunities. But this is like cozy fall aesthetic, which obviously the reason it's doing well is because these are items people are buying for fall. But so the key is going to be niching down. Another thing I recommend you do as well is that you go through some of the products that this shop is selling to understand what else is bringing them revenue, right? So, social media reels, PLR, faceless reels. This seems to be what's bringing the majority of their revenue. And then they've done one with like Christmas aesthetic. So here the play is understanding what has not been done, what is bringing traffic, and niching down. So from what we just saw here, we have folks who've done motivation, med spa, aesthetic, people who are doing bundles, fall aesthetic. So there's definitely a need for like Christmas aesthetic. And you would just simply have to like find different keywords that are being actively searched on Etsy and essentially create something that is going to retrofit with the demand. So here we have like pink Instagram, melanin vault. So that's the key here to be successful with anything digital is to sub niche it essentially, like niche down is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we have these faceless reel are bringing a lot of revenue. Portfolio templates is definitely a little less competitive. That's another one I encourage you to like do a little bit more research on. These are portfolio templates for social media managers or for just for folks who need like a website template, and you can create those easily on Canva. So they create those Canva template for folks, and then they just reuse it. So that's something worth looking for. Then you have the art craft niche. So embroidery and stitching patterns, like embroidery patterns are a thing. It's really popular. I mean, this particular one has brought in $77,000, believe it or not, and it has like 600 plus hand embroidery patterns. So that's something you might want to look into, especially if you have a design background. We can look at it really quickly. And then these like digital marketing and social media guys, which obviously with 2025 coming around the corner, folks are going to be obviously actively looking for social media manager bundles. So those are two ones that you might want to look into if you are doing anything that's digital products. So for our craft niche, yeah, like embroidery patterns are doing really well. It's just a matter of having like very trending designs. Let me show you again. So let's look for embroidery patterns and see what comes up. Embroidery, I can't spell. Okay, here's my screen. Let me share it. Embroidery pattern. Here we go. So a lot of folks are selling their entire shop. There's also like embroidery pattern kits, but we want items that are digital, right? So we're going to do product analysis, look at the monthly revenue, and it's insane. I mean, this listing right here has brought in $27,000. It's bringing in $27,000 in sales, and it's just was uploaded just this year. So this is like the entire shop, and they show you all the different patterns that are available. But this is something so easy if you already have patterns and you're somebody who is in the handcraft scene. But needless to say, there's just a lot of fresh listings that have been, I mean, this listing was uploaded like literally 3 months ago. So 3 months ago, it's $2. And if we analyze this listing, it's generating $790. Um, and I mean, it seems like, yeah, it's just one pattern. So there's plenty of opportunities there, guys. If especially if you have that knowledge. Um, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's just incredible. Just a fact. I mean, this shows that there is the demand there. So it's just a matter of doing the additional research to see what kind of designs, again, people. And by the way, if you are not sure what kind of design people are into, here's like a quick little trick. Do t-shirt, do product analysis. And obviously it's not going to work for everything, but like by looking at the monthly revenue and kind of like going down to see what people are buying. So vintage girl, so you might want to do something that's like witchcrafty with the stitches, right? Because this is getting a decent amount of sales. As we see here, this item is getting 26K in sales in the last 3 months. So having like stitches, embroidery pattern that are like more witchcrafty, something you want to look into. Raccoons are also trending. So looking at designs that are doing well within the t-shirt niche is going to help you as well get inspiration. Silly goose is something that has been trending for a while. So needless to say, this is where you can find inspiration for designs as well. All right, moving on. Are you guys enjoying this? Yay. I'm excited. Moving on. So there's also Christmas opportunities for digital products where essentially you add this layer. So gift tracking master, where folks are budgeting for gifts that they're buying this year, or having a Christmas planner, which is something that you can help them. Like, I mean, just look into this. Like it's generated $13,000 in sales, and essentially it could be anything from buying gifts to, like creating like a digital download to help them get organized for Christmas. Essentially, this is what it is, right? And then having like a budgeting list. So what I recommend you do again is use these keywords like Christmas planner, gift tracking master list, go on Etsy to see what's selling, and then see if there's an opportunity to blend the both together. Maybe there's an opportunity to do a gift tracking master list with a Christmas planner and do a bundle where you like sell both in one. So lots of opportunities, guys. Like this is gonna like make all the difference for you guys. So if you guys have any questions, right? And if you found this video helpful, first and foremost, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I also have a free Facebook group in which you can go in, ask whatever questions you have based on the content that I shared today. Highly recommend. We're about 6,400 people inside this group right now, this community, and I try to be really active in it. And another thing I wanted to give you guys today is a Notion template to help you on your journey. So this Notion template is a quick little Etsy checklist to get you started. You can download it directly here. You don't need to have there's no opt-in page, so you'll have access to it directly. And this can be your opportunity to get organized for Christmas. So needless to say, I want to hear from you. I hope this video was helpful. Most importantly, I want you to start uploading all these different ideas. Now, my recommendation is for you to just stick to one or two products that I shared today, whatever speaks to you based on your level of expertise, and really stick to it until you start getting sales. Because unfortunately, when you jump around too much from one product idea to the next, it's going to be way overwhelming for you, and then you're just not going to stick to it. So when you're sticking to one product too, it's making it easier for you to have all your templates already done, the same kind of designs, and just you're going to be more effective at uploading listings and finding those winners. All right, guys. Well, I hope this was helpful. Again, I wanted to come in here and give you guys some insights so you can hit the ground running for Q4. It's not too late. I mean, just like the saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time to plant a tree is today. So take action. work on your Etsy store, and the opportunities to outrank your competition is there, especially if you use this method of using unique products. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.